Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. Dragon Link into the new TCG format. So the deck got quite a huge hit. LP got banned and Striker Dragon 2-1. I feel that Striker Dragon 2-1 is it might seem strange, but it feels the bigger hit compared to LP. Right, but again very similar in the OCG where LP is also banned, and back then, at least when LP was banned in the OCG, the deck kind of faded away. Then again their format is different, so let's see how it will fare, right, for us TCG players. This is the current list. Some important notes is Zombie here in the extra deck, just your kinda generic rank 8 dark extra deck monster. That could be important because of, you know, your restrictions, but I kinda prefer Titanic Galaxy or even maybe Lancelot. I might just switch Zombie for Lancelot, right? But outside of that, I think the main deck is pretty standard. Some things to note is next to the Zombie is that for now that I'm not running any, let's say, good targets off of your Heretic Seal to be special summoned during your opponent's turn, right? There is the Amorphage one that blocks both players from using the extra deck. That could be a good one. There is also the, what's it called? Aether? You know which one I mean, when it's like special summoned, you can, I believe, is it banish a card from your opponent? So that could be useful. Then again, it could be a brick, but it's just something to give you like more interruptions, right, during your opponent's turn. But the core combos, I guess, for this particular build kind of stay the same. I was testing for, not with this build that I went back to, but I was trying out like Crusadia one, Crusadia Peril Exceed Dragon, and Rafflesia with the Grave Digger's Hole, I believe the name is. You know, kind of give you more options for Nibiru, but in theory it sounded good, but in practice it was a bit iffy. I kind of prefer this version because it's so straightforward. Again, it's very similar to how Dragon Link was in the previous format, but just rockets, then that small dragon mate package, which is superb. I might just slap in 3 mates and, you know, the trap at 3. Not sure, maybe 2 off of the trap is also okay, but the fact that that small engine, sub-engine, does so much for the deck. Interruption, a fantastic starter, extender with a trap, it's interruptions during your opponent's turn, so it's just a fantastic small sub-engine for this deck, right? The deck can definitely go first, go second, and that's something that I was playing like Crusadia and whatever. I wasn't playing too many hand traps with that build, and that's something that if you're going second, you can't do that. You need stuff like, I believe, Triple Blossom, Triple Gamma, obviously, and I believe double the Zombie one. You know which one I mean, the Dark one, that's crucial, that's why the reason it's there over Bell. But I think those are staple, well, that's maybe not the correct word, right? But anyway, I mean, as you've seen in the build, is that the biggest strength of Dragon Links still is that, and that didn't change before this, is that the deck has so many starter cards plus so many extenders, and that the deck still has so many, you know, potential plays to play through your opponent's multiple hand traps and still put up a board of a couple of negations, even through, again, multiple hand traps. If no hand traps, again, you know, you can just slap out those multiple, like Appaloosa and or Heretic Seal in the extra monster zone, plus your level 9 Synchro, your Boral Savage, and, you know, more interruptions if needed. The potential rank 8 Exceed play if it's there also, but the consistency is somewhat hindered because, you know, no LP, so the lack of Bro Tower in the main deck to search out Levianeer, you know, with extending plays, that's something that, well, the deck is obviously now lacking. I went first, and here is where, you know, the Dragon Maid package comes into play. Kinda, even though my opening, you know, was hindered by, not sure, a couple of hand traps, the Dragon Maid package just, you know, makes sure that you can interrupt, you know, your opponent during their turn and hopefully recover, or at least stay alive, right, so you can recover during your own turn. And the one of Striker Dragon is definitely something it's one of those hits that I definitely could have seen coming, but it's much. I feel it's much bigger compared to the, you know, the ban on LP, right? So that's a problem, but again, the core of the deck still plays the same or feels the same. There's your Chaos Ruler, you know, Excavate 5, it gets like an extender or, you know, a card to potentially discard off of your Quad Boral, I believe the name is right, or something off of your Dragon's Ravine, you know. So I still, and you know, LP, Pisty is still there as a potential extender, a super flexible monster reborn to, you know, a free Link to play most of the time your Quad Boral, and again that upgrades into any generic level 8 synchro play with your rockets, right? So I kind of feel that this particular version, basically how the deck was played before the ban list, kind of feels better or much more consistent compared to, well, obviously the builds, right? Yeah, that's true, but more consistent than, let's say, Crusadia, Saryuja Draw, Deep Draw. Not sure, obviously that needs more testing, but I feel just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Sky Strikers, and the thing is, again, as I mentioned before, the deck plays so many extenders. I bumped up the amount of rockets as well in the main deck. I believe now, in this particular build, I'm running triple Tracer, double the level 1 and 1 the Dark, right? You know, discard Reborn something, just as a generic level 4 monster to be special summoned off of your Tracer for your generic level 8 synchro plays, right? So that's all. Sky Strikers is pretty scary. You might have seen the video. I mean, you know, Engage coming back to 1, and that's a big difference. Sky Striker kind of seems like a very slow. Well, it's of course a slow deck, but the fact that 1 Engage does a lot. Hayate is sending it to the graveyard. Foolish Burial of Goods to immediately potentially use, you know, your Engage a couple of times, and then it can go quite fast. But the multi-roll limit is still a big one here for Sky Strikers, right? So quick launch again for the extra beneficial summon eventually, right? You know, extending those plays. And you know, this is a combo. This is combo. And then, you know, I was thinking about the OCG as well, that the OCG has access to Crossout Designator. Who knows when we are actually getting that particular card? You know, it's a crucial card for any combo deck. So, you know, thanks to some, you know, disruptions, extenders, eventually able to, you know, plow through those negations and eventually able to attack for a game. But that's how it is, right, with your Dragon Link deck. That doesn't change compared to before. So as I mentioned before, the deck can go first, the deck can go second. Obviously, if you're going second, you definitely want to side in those standard cards. Dark Ruler no more, Lightning Storm evenly matched. Nibiru is something that I definitely want to fit in the main deck. Same for Phantasme. Phantasme is also one of those cards that, depending on the format, right, but it might be a semi-stable for Dragon Links as well. You know, replenish your hand. A very powerful card going second also. You know, Sweet Starter, Extender, you know what I mean. A couple of other options, like I'm not running the black metal, you know, the level 1, because again, no LP. It was one of those cards that, you know, you could search out with LP, link it away for Striker and get a search, and, you know, but without LP, not sure if it's still needed. And maybe a Crusadia deck, more level 1s, 1-for-1, format skipper, that's cool. But I feel this build is a bit more consistent compared to that build. But again, that obviously needs more testing. But double seal in the extra deck is important because again, the deck still struggles maybe even more compared to you know, before the ban list to Nibiru. So that's why the second seal is there, depending, right? Your hand, if you have enough extenders, you can definitely. The first link you're putting up most of the time with more extenders is of course Heretic Seal, and then you can go from there, like Helki and or Remus, you know, Ravine, and standard combos go from there. And then if your opponent does have Nibiru, you know, your Heretic Seal will trigger potentially special summoning your Red Eyes, and you can go from there, potentially like Helki, right? So Zombie Stein hits the board, no card in hand, you know, to discard, but doesn't really matter too much because again, I have the Dragon Maid Trap to bounce back stuff, right? So but I'm probably just going to cut Zombie Stein for the Lancelot, maybe. I mean, just like a dark, right? Sometimes you're locked into those darks, and if you have the double level 8, rank 8 Exceed play ready, you definitely want to have something like that in your extra deck. There is some space, right? But again, this needs more testing, so like always, feel free to leave suggestions. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Likem signing out. Peace.